I knew I was in trouble about 20 minutes into Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because I had to stop playing the game and go look up the manual. Not a YouTube combo guide, not some advanced tutorial, the manual. I didn't even know how to switch characters. I'm pressing buttons, tapping X, tapping triggers, trying to figure out how my other fighters are just standing there waiting for their turn like this is a tag team match where nobody tagged them in. Come to find out, you don't just tap a button, you have to hold it. And that right there told me what kind of game this was going to be. So let me back up. I was looking for the next game for the Bargain Bin Gamble series. I landed on Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And this is my first time actually playing this one. Now, I know Marvel vs. Capcom. I dropped quarters into the original arcade cabinet back in the day. Back then, I wasn't playing with strategy. I was just dropping in a quarter, pressing buttons, hoping I survived. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was around as well. My friends all played that one. You know, it hit the Dreamcast and everybody was on it. But for me, it never fully clicked. It was too fast, too loud, cartoony, and honestly, it just seemed like too much. I was more of a Street Fighter and Capcom vs. SNK type of guy. Slower pace, more grounded. That's more my speed. But here we are. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was on sale and it fit my bargain bin rules. So I jumped in. And honestly, this game isn't bad. It's exactly what it says it is. It's Marvel vs. Capcom. Fast, chaotic, colorful, over-the-top fighting. This is the Ultimate Edition, so right away, there's a lot here. You get a big roster, different modes, and for the price, it feels like a real package. This does not feel like one of those cheap games where you buy it for $5 and immediately understand why it was $5. This feels like a real fighting game that just happens to be on sale. But I will say this, if you're looking for some deep story mode, that's not what this is. There isn't a traditional campaign where you sit down and go through some big cinematic story. You mostly jump right into the action. There's a mode called Heroes and Heralds. And from what I played, that seems to be closest thing to a story. You're basically choosing sides between the heroes defending Earth and the Heralds of Galactus trying to take over. I didn't spend a ton of time in that mode, but it seemed interesting enough. It gave the game a little more structure than just jumping from fight to fight. But the main thing here is the fighting. And this game moves fast. Characters are flying around the screen, assists are coming in, supers are popping off, health bars are disappearing. Sometimes I knew what I was doing, and sometimes I was just trying to survive the lights and explosions. This is not a slow, grounded fighter. There is strategy here, but it's buried under the speed, timing, and tag mechanics. Assist, combos, and also the chaos. If you know what you're doing, I can see how deep this game can get. But if you're brand new like me, there's definitely a learning curve. Like I said, I had to stop and look up how to tag characters in. I didn't just want to sit and button mash and get beat. I wanted to at least understand the basic mechanics. And once I figured that out, the game started to make more sense. I'm still not good at it, let's be clear about that, but I understood it better. I also tried to play online, and after a little while, I actually found a match. So yes, people are still playing this game, but as a rookie, you understand a chance. The person I played knew exactly what they were doing. They knew the combos, they knew the pressure, they knew how to keep me locked down. I was just there trying to learn how to breathe. But that also tells me something. People who play this game still care about it. This is not just some dead fighting game sitting on the store. There are still people out there running matches, and if you jump online without knowing what you're doing, you're gonna get washed. One thing I really liked right away was the look of the game. The character design stood out to me compared to what I remember from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This one has a different style. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had that older pixel arcade look, more cartoony and classic. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has more of that comic book, cel-shaded look. At least that's how it felt to me. And honestly, I like it. this game still looks good. It's bright, it's clean, the characters have personality, and the whole thing feels like a comic book fight turned into a video game. Now here's where I think this game really works. If you have people to play with, this is absolutely a good pickup. If you and your friends all grab this game while it's on sale, sit on the couch, talk trash, and run matches, this game makes perfect sense. That's where it shines the most. Couch fighting games are different. Online is cool, but sitting in the same room, talking mess, passing controllers, running rematches, that's where a game like this lives. For $5, if you like fighting games, this is a lot of game. You get Marvel characters, you get Capcom characters, you get speed, chaos, combos, assists, and enough depth where you can either mess around casually or actually put some time into learning how to play the game. But I do need to be honest. If you're looking for a slower, more strategic fighter, this is definitely not the one. And I'm not saying there isn't strategy here. There absolutely is. But this is not slow chess. This is not a patient, footsie type of fighter where everybody's taking their time and filling each other out. This is high octane. This is loud. This is fast. This is the kind of game where if you don't know what's happening, you might lose before you even figure out which character you're controlling. So my final verdict, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is definitely worth the bargain bin gamble. But it's not for everybody. If you like fighting games, if you like Marvel, if you like Capcom, or if you want something with a lot of characters and a lot of energy, this is that good buy. If you have friends to play with, it's even better. But if you want something slow, simple, and easy to jump into, this game might beat you up before you even figure out how to tag your partner in. For me, for the price, this was a good buy. I might not be good at it, but I absolutely respect it. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Uncle Ed's Bargain Bin Gamble. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tune in for the next episode.